I thought they could all.
Okay.
But I thought he good choice. They did a good job.
Heard your something talk about something pissed at the refs,
See the video?
And welcome to Raising Canes. This is Big John, and with my co-host Kinsley, it's time for Kicking It with the Coach here at Raising Canes, and we're going to be kicking it with some chicken here in a minute too, so we'll get our bellies full too, so that's always good with that good bread, Kinsley. It's always so good, and we've got some special guests with us today. We have Coach Keith Braddock of the Northeast Jones Tigers and our pal,
Exactly.
the player of the week, Mason Smith. You know, he did a great job this past week, getting a couple of interceptions and a touchdown reception. You know, the Tigers fell short, but they played their hearts out.
They did.
And, you know, I tell you what, here comes our food right here. So that's pretty good. You know, thank you for bringing this out. And, you know, it's always good talking Tiger football.
It is.
And, Coach, Mason over here got the Farm Bureau Player of the Game as well. So, you know, talk about, you know, his play. You know, really you could have had a choice of anybody on the team. Jay, you know, like you were talking about, Fi. There were several others. So talk about, you know, this game. I know there was some, you know, calls that were questionable. But talk about, you know, what you thought and how your team did.
Well, I'll leave all the calls and stuff for the fans and for you guys. I'll just take the opportunity and brag on these young men. And you're right. We had there's 2 or 3 guys, man, that played really well. You know, I say that. Heck, most of the team played well, and most of their team played well. For an early game, it was really a clean game. There wasn't, you know, there wasn't a whole lot of penalties for an early August game. Now there were some, but there was a lot of kids that played real well, and obviously Mason being one of those that stood out and just had an exceptional game. And like I said, it just fell a little short, but I thought both teams played really well, and I'm proud of all our kids and extremely proud of Mason, you know, a kid we asked to play every special teams and also play offense and defense.
Well, talk about like how you felt like after such a long game and so much emotion went into the game. And I mean, and Coach Bradley, one thing that I noticed about you on the sideline, the passion that you show during the game. And I mean, you love the kids, you love the Tiger community, and I mean, you want the best for the kids.
That's right.
So just talk about like the emotion that you feel during the game, considering everything that's going on. What goes through your mind?
Well, it's number one, I'm exhausted when I get there. I'm a little older. I'm a little heavier now than I used to be. So the first thing I feel is tired. But no, you know, when it matters to you and these kids matter and these communities, you know, like this kid here with us today, I was a manager on the football team when his dad played. So it means something. And, you know, I'm just proud of them, like I told them, proud to be their coach, and blessed to have that opportunity. I wish I could have done something. We could have found 3 more points, you know, against a great Taylorsville team, but we didn't. But hey, that's okay. That's behind us, and I can assure you, we're gonna strap it on and go get ready and do it again this week.
All right, so, you know, like you said, Ken, Mason's father, played and probably was the fastest guy to ever come through Northeast Jones. And so, Mason, great job Friday night against Taylorsville. Talk about, you know, the game from your perspective. You know, talk about the interceptions and talk about the touchdown.
You know, I just start out from the week, from the coaches, you know, get me in the right spot, teach me throughout the week. You know, this is my new position. I didn't play DB last year. I'd say I was in the right spot at the right time. You know, read the wide receiver, read the quarterback, and got my calls and felt like I got the job done.
Excellent. Now, you also received our Farm Bureau Player of the Game. You know, they selected you, and we did too. Now, we could have selected anybody off the team. There were some guys that had tremendous games, and really talk about the team effort Friday night.
Oh yeah, just coming out the first week. I mean, we didn't happen to play anybody for a jamboree game. Coming out the first week, I think we battled. I mean, it was a dog fight. It was just a great game. Everybody, putting 100% effort into it. It was just a great game Friday night.
Okay, and let's talk with Coach now. Coach, Friday night, big game, got West Jones
Correct.
Over there. It's been a few years since we got a victory against the Mules. So talk about, how big is this game coming up? You guys seemed to have a good offense clicking. With new coordinator Hunter McKeever. So talk about his role and what you guys plan on doing Friday night.
Well, Hunter's been with us a few years, and he just kind of switched roles, and he understands the program and the kids and where we're at, and he did a tremendous job Friday night. So you can't say enough about him and the job he did. But it'll be a even bigger challenge this Friday because West Jones is phenomenal on defense. They got great players and they're coached extremely well, and then they're good on offense as well. The defense just overshadows the offense because they're so good. But like I told the kids yesterday, West Jones Northeast has always meant something. It always will mean something. So I fully expect our kids to be ready to go. We had a rain kind of dampened things literally yesterday, but we was able to get some film work and get some work done on the inside and inside facility there. So we feel like we did get better, and we're gonna go have a great day today. And before you know it, it'll be Friday, and hopefully we'll have a packed crowd and we'll get after it.
And Mason, a question for you. Consider, it's the first game of the season. You come out, play the way you did. Great job. Talk about your mindset going into this game.
It's always a big rival. It's a rival. Any Jones County football team, that's always a rival. Everybody wants to win. I'm coming in the game, 100% prepared and wanting to win. So I'm gonna give it all I got until the end of the fight.
All right, now, Coach, can you talk about and we'll finish this up with this and eat some chicken because it's so good here at Raising Cane's, especially the sauce. I mean, I got this food. I'm ready to dig in. So, Coach, talk about one of the games that you remember as a player at Northeast against West Jones.
That's easy. Senior year, we were up 14-0 at half. We were playing, really good. We were up, like I said, 14-0 at half, and ended up coming back. They scored a couple of times, and they kick a field goal. Stan Holyfield, who now works with the Jones County schools as well. We went on to play at Jones together, and a good friend. But he kicked a 30 or 40 yard field goal to win it with hardly no time on the clock, and that was my senior year. So it was a great game, great battle. I've seen a bunch of them. I hate we didn't win that, but you asked me what comes to mind. That game seems to always pop up, and not that you need any motivation, but it's it just seems like it always spurs you along, for a little motivation.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone, for listening today on Kicking It with the Coach. We'll be back next week with our pal, the player of the game, player of the week. And so we thank y'all again. Friday night, we're going to be broadcasting live from the pasture as the Tigers take on the Mules in the big rival game. Join us at 6:45 as we have a pregame show, and we talk about the history behind this game. So the Tigers need to get a win so we can edge a little closer in the game this week, Coach. But I think, I feel something special going to happen. Kinsley, any final words from you?
Just thank you to our fans for tuning in and listening to us. Just join in this Friday, 6:30, to support us throughout the season.
All right. And again, 6:30, 6:45 from the pasture, Northeast Jones and West Jones. So another great Jones County battle. And also Saturday, we'll be broadcasting live from Laurel Home Center in our fantasy football discussion talk. So, Coach, you're welcome to join that if you're into that. But all right, so we'll see y'all Friday night from the pasture. Until then, go Tigers, and God bless.
Good job. Let me slip out and get a little catch up. That was good. You did good, Mason. Y'all did good.
I gotta be honest with you, I didn't know we were going live.